show it again?
No, it's too far. It's too far.
Yeah.
But it's now blue darkness. Okay, I will stop looking at birds. If no, I don't talk. Look at me, please, not to the birds.
You're in South America.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the birds are too small, and they are a bit far, so don't worry. They won't steal your show. Okay, let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends. Bom dia, bona tarde y boa noite, meus amigos. Well, just practice a little bit Portuguese, but I'm not so good as Guto, but he just taught me earlier. So, welcome to 2022 ABF Online Talk, Passion for Birding. And it's apasionados por passarinho. Is that correct?
Perfecto.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. So, ABF is working with WBC, the World Birdfairs Council, again in April for the Month of American series. So today, with our great pleasure and honor, we have the speaker, Guto Carvalho from Brazil. And he will tell us about the story of Avistar, Brazil. And Guto is a birdwatcher who created the AvistarBrasil in 2006, the Brazilian bird fair, dedicated to promote the birdwatching culture as a conservational tool in Brazil. Guto has talked about birds and birdwatching tourism in Brazil in October 2020 in ABF Online Talk. Thank you very much, Guto, and welcome you join us again. So, por favor, Senor Guto Carvalho.
Muito agradecido. Seu português está excelente. Perfeito, Victor. Quando vier ao Brasil, será um prazer. Welcome. Thank you for watching. My name is Guto, as Victor told us. And, I will talk a little bit about our work in Brazil on AvistarBrasil, the Brazilian Bird Fair, as part of this great community of a bird fair of the world, promoted by Asian Bird Fair. Congratulations, Victor, for your hard work on put all pieces together and make all people present, making nice presentation all the time. If it is possible, I have a presentation. I can show you. It's okay? Okay, let me try. Okay. Have you my screen?
Excellent.
Yeah? Okay, so let's go. Thank you again for the invitation. It's such a great pleasure to be here in the grounds of my neighbor in Serra do Japi, is a reserve nearby São Paulo. I have to congratulate to Victor for the great work for putting all this together, and also to Horácio Matarazzo, who invited me. Horácio, our grand ambassador of the South America birds. Thank you, Horácio. Today, I will talk a little bit to you about bird watching and culture and the history of AvistarBrasil on this great series, Bird Fairs of the World. Well, first of all, there is once upon a time when there are no European colonizators in Brazil. This comes from 14th century, when just live here the original people, the indigenous people from Brazil. I would like to thank for them and honor the real landowners of Brazil, the indigenous people, the ancient people that live here and have a great tradition of love the animals. They have an expression, a name for this. Well, indigenous peoples in Brazil used to say, the river is my parent, the mountain is my parent, the landscape is my parent. All of this is our parent, you know, and they have a great love for the birds. They have a great love for the animals, the mammals. Actually, they eat those animals. They hunt, but they love. It's a different way of thinking. And the loved ones, they used to say, Shirimbabu. Shirimbabu is the name for loved animals that live along with the people and used to live all in the settlements of the indigenous peoples in Brazil. So great honor for our original people and the real landowners of Brazilian land. But, in that ways, there is a but in our history. Sometimes the Portuguese navigators and the European civilization found Brazil, and they published La Carta del Cantino. La Carta del Cantino was the first map for Europe where Brazilian appears, the first map. At this time, in this first map, Brazilian is located here. Can you see in this area here? Brasilia was named in this map as Terra Papagalle. Terra Papagalle is spelled for land of the parrots. Land of the parrot used to be the first name of our country on the European tradition. And why that? If you look at the map, the amazing map, actually it's an amazing map, but also is a roadmap for colonization, a roadmap for exploitation. It's a roadmap for coming to Brazil and take this, our richness to Europe, okay? In our map, there are two things that call attention, the birds and the trees. Terra Papagalle e Brasil. Brasil was the name that a tree, Ibiraputã. Ibiraputã is the three names of this Brazilian woods, Brazil woods, named after his, like a fiery color. The red, strong red of his trunk was used to make pigments to the dress of the Pope, of the cardinals, of the king, the princess. All of them used to have nice red Brazilian wood pigment on their clothes. And also the birds. Well, but perhaps not all European colonizators are ugly and people that can just explore and things like this. Some of them are quite enlightened. And one of those, Mauritius von Nassau, used to be a Dutch governor in northeast Brazil, and he loved birds, he loved nature, and he even has a nice garden, a botanic garden on his palace, and in his castle in northeast Brazil. And they invited several artists, painters, to make a field guide. Look at that. For the first field guide for birding in Brazil is on the 16th century, created by this Mauritius von Nassau. Well, the times go, things gone, Dutch are gone, the French came, the Portuguese is still always the master, but this guy, de Coutil, Jean Theodore de Coutil, creates a lovely book about Brazilian birds, not a taxonomical or mythological kind of book, but a book for the pleasure to see the birds. Remarkable plumage, the nice songs, the amazing habits. This is amazing work of art published in the 18th century from this guy, a French painter, de Coutil, Jean Theodore de Coutil, perhaps the second birding field guides of Brazil. Well, in the 19th, birds becomes parts of the Brazilian fauna. A research to be used, a natural research to be used, like fishing, hunting, and get captive birds or things like this, you know. as a utilitarian way to see the birds. But let me talk a little bit about birds in the world and then birds in Brazil. This is a bird diversity around the world map. The green, the reddish, the more red, the more birds. Bird diversity in South America, we have a kind of a 1/3 of the whole birds of the world. And if you look at the map, you see that Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador has the most biodiversity of birds in the world. Brazil has nice, perhaps a little bit more than 2,000 species, according to our committee, ornithological committee. And we have lots of endemic birds, and we have lots of near endemic birds. If you look at the map of bird diversity in Brazil, you see that São Paulo is a hotspot. You have a common hotspot on the whole Amazon, but it's shared with our friends, our neighbors in Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, the Amazonian birds, a huge number of the species, a huge number of endemic birds. But in this area, nearby São Paulo, right here where we are right now, you are going to hear some birds singing while I'm talking, but will not stop. Oh, perhaps I stop. But this area is a hotspot for endemic birds and near endemic birds. We share lots of species with Argentina, with Paraguay, Uruguay, and the south area of Brazil. Okay? So, some birds. Those are endemic birds of Brazil. I love this red-necked tanager. You used to see this bird right here in my house. I just love. This one is northeast bird, amazing, endangered bird. A hummingbird, Brazilian ruby is a nice hummingbird, highlands birds. This parrotlet used to be around here in southeast Brazil in rainforests. This is blue Dacnys. Actually, black-legged Dacnys is a different Dacnys, more hair. Some scaled hand birds. Well, all of those birds draw the attention of the birders in the world. And then we have it. This is an interesting point. The first records on eBird of Brazilian birds was made in 1964 by an American biologist that used to study mammals, but also was a Ken birdwatcher and came to Brazil to study mammals, and they made it the first record on eBird. I don't think eBird is well. It's a record on eBird. It's not so important, but I think it's a nice curiosity to see the first eBird happened in 1964, as far as I can found. Okay, but the culture of bird watching in Brazil just started spreading out in the 80s. With the work of this guy, William Belton, that used to be American consul living in Brazil. This American guy, a bird watcher in US. They worked in Brazil as a consul on the American consulate in South Brazil, and was perhaps the first expression of this global bird watching culture that we are celebrating right now. They started creating birding watching clubs around the whole country. More than 50, 20 were created at that time. In most big city in Brazil has its birding club. And it was very important because this creates one generation that will be the most field ornithologists in Brazil. Used to be young guys, those in the photo used to be birdwatcher that was bring to birdwatching by this guy, William Belton. Thank you, William Belton. And also Walter Voss, Pedro Scherer, and the other people that help on this starting of Brazilian birdwatching culture. And so the millennium came up, Avistar started his show in 2006. Avistar, the Brazilian Bird Festival, started as a meeting to bring together all people that love birds in Brazil. And our mission was to promote birdwatching culture, to promote the love for birds, for local birders, to save local birds. Our focus was to create a strong ecosystem of birdwatching in Brazil, business ecosystem, sustainable business ecosystem, focus on birds for birdwatchers, Brazilian birdwatchers. Our thought was, okay, we can go behind, look for the gringos, for the international rich people that want to see birds all around the world. That's great. But if we don't have a structured ecosystem that implies culture, science, tourism, conservation, and people, all this running with focus on bird conservation, that will be not sustainable. That will be just another European take out our richness from Brazil. So we have been.
Excuse me, Guto. May I interrupt you? Because I see something strange on the screen. Because on the right there's a black bar to block part of your PowerPoint. Maybe it's the design of the PowerPoint.
This black box.
Right, on the right, there's a black mark on the screen. On the slides.
I can't see this. Let me check. Wait a minute.
So maybe.
It's better like this?
Yes, okay, now it's better.
Oh, so sorry. Yes, thank you, Victor. I was because the Zoom was covering my screen, and I so sorry about that, people. That's so amateur from my part. So sorry. Well, we're talking about 17 years working to promote a Brazilian birdwatching culture, to create a grounded knowledge of birds, because birds, as a tourist, as an economy, need grounded knowledge, need to belong to the people on the territory. They know where are the birds. They know how the bird sings. They know how to find the birds. They know how to show the birds. And that is the only way to create a sustainable business ecosystem. And so when we start, we have almost 500 birders in Brazil. And then the numbers was growing, and now we are reaching kind of a 200,000 birdwatchers in Brazil. But we don't did this alone. It was a ecosystem of people, amazing people working together. Mostly the WikiAvis is the Brazilian birding social network, who has kind of 40,000 people on this portal. On this is an encyclopedia, it's a bird encyclopedia that more deal with data, photos, all kind of knowledge about birds, and also bird conversation. People love to talk about birds and love talks, and collective intelligence being created, knowledge about birds being created by real people, by real birds all the time. Amazing work. And also the Brazilian Bird Record Committee that make an amazing work to create Brazilian names for Brazilian birds. They used to be seems like obvious things, but if you don't do that, you don't create a real grounded culture on bird watching. And also lots of other people like BirdLife Brasil, Salve Brasil, Butantan, Vem Passarinhar, many other amazing people work together. Well, right now this is a map of birding spots around the country. Each dot on this map is a birding spot. The bigger the dot, the bigger the list. And so you can see that bird watching is spread out the country. People are birding all around the country. All amazing birds of Brazil are shown on this map. And each dot, I'd love to see each of one dot. In one dot, there is a man and there is a bird, and they are together to celebrate this amazing practice of bird watching. Okay, our goal is to reach 1 million bird watchers in Brazil in 20 years. I know we need to work a lot to do that. I'm not sure if we're going to reach 1 million bird watchers in Brazil in this time, but okay, that's our goal. Currently, we estimate around 200,000 birds. So, another thing important, when you look this endemic species, the hotspots, well, some more birds, some cotingas birds, bellbirds, gray-winged cotinga, black and gold cotinga, red puffy fruit quail. This one I see here in my house is amazing bird. This is nice one, swallow-tailed cotinga, hooded berry eater. I forgot the name of this. And the white-winged cotinga, banded cotinga. You know, lots of amazing birds all around the country. But I need to talk to you about Avistar. And Avistar decided not to do a birding festival, but a birders festival. Our show is focused not in exactly show the birds, but we need people together and see, talk, and make network between birders. So we decide to put our show in the last bird time of the year. May is the beginning of autumn, is the big almost winter in Brazil, and the birds are not so vocal, they are not so present. So that's why I decide to make in São Paulo, which is our huge city, a huge metropolis, in the time where the birds are not so, because if you have lots of birds, no one will stay to make network. Everybody goes to the fields to see birds, and we want to talk, to hug, we need to make connections. So that is Avistar. Our show is an open air event. It happens in the grounds, in the park, and receive kind of 7,000 visitors in 3-day shows. We used to make tents and to cover kind of 1,500 square meters. This is the area of the show. It's kind of a bird street market. You are on the street and then you start seeing birds, and you are in the city and then you see that like a street market, a nice street market, noisy, lots of sounds, and the people talking, smile and laughing, and the conversation running. Also, we have a strategy to put some films, some commercials on open TV, to broadcast films, to reach different, a broad side of audience, you know. Let me show two of those commercials. Sorry, they are not subtitles in English, but I can tell you a little bit. The second film, I love it too much. It shows purple martins that are coming together to a roost to sleep at night, and the text on Portuguese says something like, well, thousands of birds get together sometime to stay together. So if you are a bird, come along with us to Avistar birding show. And okay, we talk about birds, but about flowers, butterflies, jaguars. People launch their books, people launch their art. We talk about science. We have tourism. We have exhibits. We have mostly network happening on the I forgot, in the middle, in the lounge of our events. Lots of networking going on. Of course, people looking for birds all the time. And lectures. We have almost last edition, presidential edition, we have a kind of 200 lectures. And lectures not about ornithology or tourism. We love lectures about birdwatching because we think birdwatching is not a branch of ornithology science. It's not a branch of tourism science. It's not just social science. Birdwatching is a field of knowledge as any other. And we need to celebrate our culture, our practice. We need to think about this, to create a discussion and receive your work. And people has work to show about birdwatching, not just ornithology, not just tourism. Also photo exhibits, art workshops, drawing birds, painting, education, lots of education work for people, for child. This was a great happening we did. We create a human scale ovenbird nest made of in the middle of the park. It was great because when we finish it, there is a couple of ovenbirds that use our mud to make their nest. I think it was amazing. And we receive lots of posts on social network about how amazing it is to be in a park and find a giant bird nest. This is our show. People loving birds in the middle of the metropolis. All about education, all about birding, science, bird banding, demos. This was an amazing piece that we show on the opening of one of our Avistar edition, that the composer used a photo of birds on the wires and make the sound, make the music, using this as a musical notation. It was amazing work. We have lots of, we think is important to bring the cultural agenda to the bird watching talk. We think this is very important. Also, we made film projections, like this is Birds of Alfred Hitchcock in the dark. 70 years, we have a kind of 70 exhibitors in each show, like the business part of the show, 70 both from exhibitors from all the country and even South America and the others. We have a kind of 200 lectures achieved and things like this. We issue 1,000 badge for staff people working on the show. Used to be kind of 1,000 people, and then we receive kind of 7,000 people. We are in Brazil. We work in Brazil for Brazilian birds, but to make bird watching culture in Brazil strong, to receive people from all the world, because if we don't know, we don't have a grounded knowledge about our birds, we are not a good host. We will not receive anyone. And also, when you think about local business, is very important. It's very important you have a strong local business, sustainable, circular economy, including birding. So, and then 220 comes the pandemics. What to do at that time with our 7,000 people show? Let's put all together. No mask, everybody not vax, not possible. So we start working online. We open an Avistar YouTube channel that now we have almost 3 years working on. We made kind of a 34 digital events, like a week about the certain matters. And we made kind of 450 video stream, 450 live streams. And we have actually 6,250 roughly followers, and plus than 250,000 views of our whole video. It's possible to having a birding 2.0 experience during the COVID, during the pandemics. We did lots of experiments. So this was birding 2.0, was a kind of we connect all birding feeders in the country in one single Zoom meeting room, and the people came to see bird feeders all the country. Lots of kind of 2 to 500 people watching birds digitally. This was amazing. We did bird watching games, online bird watching games. We did also experiments on birds on movies, and also birding hackathons, how to develop knowledge to make a better feeder for having in your apartment. Okay, you are enclosed in pandemics, you love birds, how to put a feeder on your window, what's the best feeder? So we make a hackathon, a birding hackathon, to develop new technologies on birding. Okay.
सिक्लिस्ट त थाहा छ नि खास हजुर सिक्लिस्ट भइराख्थ्यो ट्रेकिङमा घोडाहरू गइराख्थ्यो अनि एकचोटि चाहिँ के भयो भनेहरूको ट्याक्क त्यहाँ जस्तो हामी बस्ने ठाउँमा पाकिस्तानेकै बुढी चाहिँ अब
This is to say parrots belongs to nature, not to your house. This was concept we made with AvistarBrasil. AvistarBrasil is the BirdLife International chapter in Brazil. We work lots of along with them on conservation and promoting conservation. Well, you see, there is a global birding diversity. Now, lots of Brazilian birds are going to bird out of the country. We are spread out our birds throughout the world to go birding in South America, to go birding in Patagonia, to go birding in Colombia, to go birding in Europe, in Bhutan, in New Zealand, in South Africa, all around the world. And also, we receive lots of birders in Brazil. And now we are comfortable to receive international birds because we have a grounded, strong ecosystem of bird watching developed in our country. And then you see coming people from the USA, from the UK, from Europe, from China, from Taiwan, from Japan, from all the world. And then I was preparing this presentation, and I found this article recent published in The Guardian. It's kind of last week they put this editorial, The Guardian View on Nature Tourism. This is a nice piece of journalism calling the whole world attention about let's say, the emissions connected to international tourism and global warming, and how we must be careful about this, and how we can love and celebrate the nature, even in our garden. If you live in a city, go to a park. If you live in a metropolis, find a park, so small travels. Birdwatching is not about just a checklist where you see every bird in the world. This time is gone. We don't have it. The world is warming, and we need to have local pleasure with the nature. We need to love our birds as they are. We need to love our flowers as they are. So, with this, and with this message, keep in mind your local birds, keep in mind your local nature. Even a garden has knowledge to be discovered over a lifetime. You can spend your lifetime learning on your garden, and perhaps we are trying to spread out this kind of culture in Brazil and on the world. So with this, thank you very much. This was I was planning to present. I don't know if you have any question. It will be a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you very much, Guto. Excellent. You know, you are the first speaker of AvistarBrasil Talk. Do the whole show outdoor there in the wild. That's really amazing. Thank you so much.
So if you have any questions.
Yes, any question to Guto you know, we are, some of us here are bird fair organizers, and we know the feeling of organizing a bird fair. There are so many things to do, you know, major events, many details, and it's an amazing work, Guto. Thank you so much.
I thank you very much for your worldwide project on birds. Yeah.
Thank you. Marcio, please.
Hi, Guto, excellent talk. After the talk, I want to run to Brazil to the next Avistar. Can you give us the details of the next meeting?
Next meeting will be May 2023, next year, May next year. We were wondering about this year. There is lots of people asking us to do this, but we think we have a responsibility with COVID, and the situation was not good when we took the decision, and so the next Avistar will be presential, will be in São Paulo, 2023 May. Always, it's another thing that I learned on those time. We always do in a fixed time. Our show don't have a fixed day, but has a fixed week. Is the third weekend of May, because people need times. When will be Avistar 2037? I don't know, but will be in the third weekend of May, because our people, our public, need to plan their travels with a long time. And if you don't, in Brazil we have a Mother's Day, which is in the second weekend of May. We started doing our show on second weekend of May, but no one can beat the Mother's Day. So we moved the Birds Day further a little bit in order to have the time with mammals. So May, third weekend, you choose the year.
Okay, we'll be there. Okay. We will meet there.
Will be great. Yeah. And also, we need to talk of a Brazilian fair to be part of South American bird fair, because in our time, May is not compatible with. So we need to work together to find a host for the bird fair in South America, in Brazil. Horacio, we need to do that. Yeah?
It's a little. With the people of Asia.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And Pancho, are you going to say something? Pancho?
Yes, I was, but he already answered. I was going to ask if it's always in Sao Paulo, the bird fair.
Yeah. Always in bird fair, always in São Paulo, always the same week of the year. And I look another thing that I learned with our patrino, el gran patrino, the birdwatcher fairs, Mr. Tim Appleton. I learned this from him. Always put the same booth in the same place. Always the same structure of booth, as people that come again know where to find the exhibitors. And so we try to make everything the same structure, same day, same seat, same structure, that you can receive the people. Always will be a space that people recognize as a structured space.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that's really good thinking. I mean, you make everything exactly the same as last year, as even before. Then people have to feel like, you know, they're coming back home. You know, they are familiar with everything. Yeah, that's something amazing. Wow.
That's I learned it from Tim Appleton. I learned this from Tim Appleton.
Okay. Yeah, do you have more questions, Pancho?
No, I was thinking on the Mato Grosso area, since you have the bird fair on the Atlantic, how far, how difficult will be to go from the bird fair? Do you organize also on the bird fair to go to the Pantanal, for example?
Yes. Actually, we have several ethics questions about this. I will tell you, we don't want to be the owners of the Brazilian bird fairs at all. We need that the culture spread out the country. And then people asked me to make our show in Mato Grosso. They asked me to make our show in Manaus, in Amazon. They asked me, and I always see, we don't do the show there. You do. We can't help. We do the whole structure. If you want to use our name, our brand to do this, you know, like TED Talk, you have the lectures, digital lecture, TED Talk. If you can promote it with the same kind of franchise, you know, but no money involved, just love. And then if you want to do a Pantanal bird fair, we will help. And if you want to do a bird fair in Pantanal and use our brand, okay, no problem. No money involved, okay? Just love and passion for birds. That's but now, if you are in São Paulo and want to go visit Pantanal, it's kind of 1 hour flight and some more times driving, you are in the middle of the Pantanal.
Okay, thank you.
Great mind, yes, very great. Yes. Yeah, do you have more questions to Guto? All right, before we move on, let's take a group photo first, okay? So, yes, Carlos, yes, Andrew, Mike. Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike. Yes, Mike, here, Andrew. And I guess it's Bella. Is it Bella? Oh, it's Philip. Okay, thank you, Philip. Sylvia.
Sylvia from Brazil.
Brazil. Okay, Sylvia. Hello. Hello, Sylvia and Rajendra.
Hello.
Let's go, guys.
Let me see. Yes.
Okay, right.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hola,
Yes.
Sylvia.
Nice to meet you.
Right. Hey, Rajendra. We're waiting for you. Happy New Year, Rajendra. Where are you now? Andrew? Okay. Okay, now we got you, Rajendra. Very good. Okay, so let's take the first group photo.
Aha.
Okay, Flavia, Andrew. Okay, let's do it. Look at the camera. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Oh, let's do it for Andrew again. Wait. You ready, Andrew? All right. Okay.
Yes, yes.
1, 2, 3. Go. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Yes, Horacio. Want to say something?
No, it's okay.
No.
Just saying hello.
No question for Guto? No.
I think you, okay? Sorry.
Yeah, go on. Yes.
No, just want to say it's a pleasure and invite all you to come to Brazil. It will be a pleasure to receive you. Our focus is, as I told, very important to me to clarify about that. Our focus of our work was to promote birdwatching in Brazil for birders, Brazilian birders, but not because it kind of a nationalist or thing like this. No, it's not that's the focus. Our mission is because we believe the importance of grounded knowledge in the way to make the knowledge grows, it to work on focus we focus on local birders. So now we have a strong ecosystem ready to receive all of you, and it will be a pleasure to receive birders all over the world, because there is a thing that unites all. We are the United Nation of birders. So let's celebrate this. Let's love the birds and make it a bird a messenger for a better world to the people. Because we love birds, because birds are dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs who could not evolve it because the great catastrophe of the meteorites. So we love birds because birds shows to us, human, a possible way to evolve. Dinosaurs used to be strong, ugly, they smell so bad, or things like this, and now they evolved. They are birds, they are nice, they fly, they are beautiful. Birds celebrate the beauty. And so, looking at birds, perhaps we can learn a path to evolve the humanity. We are kind of dinosaur today. Perhaps we can become birds. That's why we love them. I love you all, because we are all united nations of birds. So,
thank you very much. Very nice words. Thank you so much. So, thank you, Guru, again. Thank you for speaking to us and let us know Avistar. And we look forward to seeing you next year in May in Brazil, in São Paulo, Brazil.
It will be a pleasure to receive you all, my friends.
And you're in the wild, that's really amazing. You're the creator. This is the first one. Thank you so much. So,
Thank you.
Next week, we're going to U.S. Chris Cameron will talk about Monroe Bay Bird Festival in Los Angeles, in California, in the U.S. So we'll see Chris again. So and Chris will wake up very early in the morning because of the time difference. So we're sorry for that, but we appreciate it for that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. To see you next week, same time, same place here. Thank you so much, and have a nice weekend. Thank you, Guto. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congrats, Guto.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Now he's walking away. Just lovely. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good holiday week.